Here. Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Andrew Guy. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about this idea of not good enough. You hear it all the time. I'm not good enough. I feel like um, I'm an imposter. I feel like um, I'm a person that somebody else should put myself on the back burner. I feel like I should allow other people to go in front of me. All of these are things that people are facing nowadays. And the reason why they're facing that is because they don't have the right identity. So today, what I want to do, I want to focus on help you to understand uh, how do you build an identity that will outlast your failures. And I'm going to give you 5 tips, 5 strategies to help you to weather the storm. I want to give you 5 strategies, 5 tips that will help you to break through. I will give you 5 tips that will help you to basically bulletproof your mindset. Bulletproof your mindset. That it doesn't matter what attacks come at you, it doesn't matter what people say about you. That these things, these 5 pillars that I'm going to help you to get and to master, is going to transform the way you see yourself. All right, let's start to talk a little bit about how you see yourself. But before I get into that, so who am I? My name is Andrew E. Guy. I'm a high performance clinician, and my goal is really to help high performance individual to create the right boundaries to protect themselves so they don't have to suffer from their last win. Now, why is that? If you want to learn more about me, go to andrewguyspeaks.com and you can see all the information there. You can see all the research and stuff that I've been doing and the speaking topics that I do. But for today, I really want to talk to you about people saying that they're not good enough. When you say that you're not good enough, it's because one, you may have a lived experience that you feel that somebody said something to you. Somebody may have told you that you're not good enough. Somebody may have told you that, well, compared to somebody else, you're not good enough. And I want you to understand when everyone say that, or some people say that you're not good enough, it's because of the way they see themselves. They see themselves that way. They see themselves as an individual who is not good enough, or somebody has already told them. It might have been a lived experience. And when I say a lived experience could be where when you were a kid, something happened to you. You may have gotten beat up when you were a kid. You may have gotten, pushed around or bullied, in high school. That happens to a lot of people. I'm one of those individuals who've been through getting beat up and experiencing bullyism, all of that kind of stuff. But the purpose of me telling you that is because people use their lived experience to create a future, to create a template that they live their lives by. So, what I want to help you to do today is to break out of that box, and not just break out of the box, but to actually break the box, shatter the box, and throw it in the garbage. See, I got a box here, and I got a whole bunch of stuff inside this box, right? I got a folder, I got some other stuff inside the box right there, headphones, all of that stuff. These are all the stuff that's inside the box, right? And a lot of people will put themselves in a box because it has become comfortable. They put themselves in a box because it's safe. They'll put themselves in a box because they might not know how to get out of the box. They may have put themselves in a box because it has become a coping mechanism for them where they don't feel like they don't have to do something outside of the ordinary because it's okay for them. All right? So today I want to break you out of the box. As a matter of fact, get out of the box, break the box, throw away the box so you can develop the right emotions, the right mindset, the right skill set so you can take control of your life. Now, I've written some things down here and I want to just go through them quickly. During my session, I might get passionate. I might clench my fists. I may raise my voice. I may do all of these different things. And the purpose of that is to really to help you to understand that I am passionate about what I do. The purpose of that is to help you to understand that when you're doing anything, a person once says, how you do anything is how you do everything. So here's what I want you to start with first of all. Ask yourself this question: who am I? Start there. Put some comments in the box and let me know where you're tuning in from. I am in Canada, by the way. All right, Raptors fan. All right, but they're not in the playoffs right now. So my people that I am actually cheering for, which is not doing well right now, are Spurs. I've been a Spurs fan and a Raptors fan for the longest time. All right, hope that doesn't break the mold. But let's continue. When we think about people saying that you're not good enough, I want you to think about pushing through. I want you to push through. When I say push you, I want you to get through it. A lot of times people are going to throw things at you. A lot of times people are going to try to put you in a box, but I don't want you to think about the box that people put you in. I want you to think about the opportunity for you to grow, the opportunity for you to become better, the opportunity for you to become your best self. Now, when people say best self, it's cliche. People say, better version of yourself. What does that mean when we say become a better version of yourself? Becoming a better version of yourself is a saying that means the person that you see today, the person that you have lived with for many years, you're not satisfied with that person. You're not pleased with that person. You're not proud of that person. So then I need to become someone else. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do now, you said, why does my, let's see here. Somebody said something. Why does my finger stinks? That's the stupidest comment I've ever heard. Anyways, okay, we're talking about building your individual self. We're talking about building you as an individual. So if you're not here for that live, then go somewhere else. Okay. All right. Let me focus on the people who are here for this video and this professional development. I want you to get through it. Even the people who are putting weird comments out there, I want you to know that it's because you may have had an issue with yourself. You may have had people tell you that you're not good enough. And a lot of times, people who develop poor self esteem, people who develop poor sense of self, is because they have accepted what someone else has already said about them and have accepted what somebody said to them. So here is what I need you to think about. I got you, man. Chill. I'm chill. I'm chill. But a lot of time people come on here and they'll say silly stuff just to distract people. But if you want to put something inside the comment, put something in there that's going to help everyone else grow. Put something in there that's going to help everyone to grow from. I'm chill. I'm a chill, funny person. But normally when I'm into these training session, I realize that people's attentions are valuable. I think people's attention are more valuable than money nowadays because you can pay people any amount of money to do anything, but their attention is so critical that I value that more than the money. So that's the reason why I take that very seriously. So for the few that are on here right now that are listening, I want to make sure they get the best of me. All right, so let's rock and roll. So when we talk about just get through it. When we talk about get through it, what are some things that you've been through in your life that was so difficult? For those that may be watching right now, it could be, well, had a tough childhood. I may have a tough school year. I may live in a tough neighborhood or just have some tough lived experience that really was really difficult for me. So all of these are lived experiences that when you look at them today, they have helped to shape you into the person that you are today. So here's what I want you to think about. Whatever is in front of you is going to be a blockade. It's going to either block you or it may give you some information about your next step. If you're driving on the highway, you may see a sign. A sign may say, okay, fine, exit the highway in the next 3 kilometers. The sign may say, turn off to the next street. Or the sign may say the next lane is going to end. The purpose of that is to help you to understand that whatever is in front of you is not a blockade, it's information. Okay, use that as information so you can become better, so you can know what decision you have to make, so you can decide what your next move will be. In order for you to know what your next move will be, you need to know these 5 things that I'm about to give you right now. And if you stick to the end, these 5 things can be revolutionary to what you do and how you think and how you see yourself. The number one thing that you need to do is to zoom out. Okay? Think of a camera lens that is close up and you're taking a close up shot, right? But a lot of people are too close to their problem, and because they're so close to their problem, they don't see anything else. They only see themselves, and they will use terminologies like, "Oh, I am the only one that's going through this," or "It's only me," or "I'm not good enough." And all of these different things that they're saying is because maybe it's a lived experience that they've had, and they've taken this lived experience and they've put a label on themselves. And the label could just be like what's on my cap. There are a whole bunch of different caps out there. Some could be, say, Canada. It could be your favorite sport team. It doesn't matter. Cap. Bob Marley once said, "Who the cap fit, let them wear it." So the goal of this is to help you to understand whatever cap you are wearing is not really a physical cap. It's a metaphor for the type of thinking that you have. So your cap represents the type of thinking that you have towards yourself. So what I want you to do is think about the lens that you have and how close you are to that problem that you have basically blown up and make it bigger than it should be. It's bigger than it should be because somebody told you that you're not good enough. It's bigger than it should be because a parent or a teacher or some other human being told you that, well, you're not good enough. So here's what I need you to understand. Number one, I need you to what? Don't be so close to your situation. Zoom out, pan out, and step back from that situation. If you are too close to your situation, here is what's going to happen. People become annoying, you become agitated easily, and your response time, you become more reactive to what's happening around you. So I want to encourage you. I want you to back up from the situation, step back from the situation, and you will get to see more of what's happening around you. You become more aware. So, number one thing, I want to make sure I'm not that close to my situation. I don't want to be as close. I want to step back from the situation so then I can see more of the picture. Does that make sense? They would call it, use the terminology that says, look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture means it has more detail of what's happening, more surroundings. Your camera will pick up more surroundings. It's the difference of me going this way, vertical, versus me going this way. If I do that, you can see more of what's happening. If I do this, you can see just me. So if I'm this way, then you're focused on just me. But if I switch and go to wide angle, then you can see more of my surroundings. Does that make sense? So sometimes we're so focusing on the problem that we don't realize that there are other solutions that are around us. All right. So let's continue. Number one, we say we want to zoom out. Zoom out. Step back from the problem. Step back from the accusation. Step back from what people are saying about you. And then so you can see a much bigger picture. All right? All right. So here are the 5 things that I want to start with. If we're going to build an identity that will outlast all of our failures, here's what you need to do. You need to come up with 5 words. 5 words that if you put them in a bottle and put them on an island by themselves, they will survive. Let me say it again. 5 words that if you put them in a bottle and put them on an island, they will survive. Here is why I'm saying that. A lot of people says they will ask this question, "Hey, tell me about yourself." You've heard that before. When somebody says, "Tell me about yourself," what would you do? A lot of people go into a long story about the things that they have done or the places that they've been or what they like and dislike. I don't want you to focus on that. What I want you to do is think. I want you to think deeply now. For those of you that are on right now, think deeply of 5 words that really summarize who you are. If you're here on the chat right now, I want you to put that in the chat. Can you think of five words that you can use that whenever somebody say your name and they use those 5 words, you'd be like, yeah, that's who I am. Can you think about that? It's a challenge. So put that in the chat. Put at least 5 words that describe who you are. That when people say those 5 words, they can say, yes, that's who you are. It mirrors you. Okay? Here is what I want you to think about. I'm going to give you 5 words. Here are 5 words that you can use, just in case you couldn't come up with 5. Here's what I want you to think about. Think of love. When you're thinking of your 5 word that define you, when you're thinking of 5 words that creates that identity, I want you to think of love. Now, why love? People would say love. Think of love like God would say. Like they said, God is love. He's not loving, he is love. So one of those words I would introduce is love. Because a person who loves other human beings loves themselves. It's hard for you to love other people if you don't love yourself. The first place you want to start with is love. Okay? So love is one of those words. So when people ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, well, I love people. I love other people. So that's a great place to start. Who in the world doesn't love other people? Well, if you show me a person that doesn't love other people, now this person doesn't love themselves. All right? So the number one thing you want to think about is love. Do you have a genuine love for other people? A person who have love for other people loves themselves. You must first love yourself before you can love other people. Here is the next one. Confident. When you think of confident, what do you think about? Confident. How confident are you? So if you put confident by itself, what does that mean? Confident is knowing what's inside of you. Okay, here's an example. You are a race car driver, okay? And there were like, let's say like 10 or 15 cars that were on the track. And then you won this amazing prize where you're going to drive a racing car. You don't know what engine is inside the car. But there are 5 racing cars out there that is out for the raffle. And when you went for the raffle, you won one of the cars. It turns out that only one of the cars had a super racing engine in the car. So now you went out there and you don't know which one. There are 5 cars. You've chosen one of these cars. And the one that you picked, well, it didn't have the racing engine. But everyone in the stands, all the spectators in the stands, they know which car has the super fast racing engine. So they are telling you, hey, pick number 1. Pick number 1. Once you go ahead and you pick number 1, right? Then now you have confidence because people told you that what's inside that engine is the fast engine. What's inside the car is the fast engine. So here's what I want you to get. Confidence is knowing what's inside of you, what you're capable of. A lot of people who lack confidence is because they don't know what's inside of them. They don't know what they're capable of. All of these tie to your identity. Okay? I want to give you a quick story. One of my favorite movie. I don't know if anyone on here is a fan of The Lion King. If you're a fan of The Lion King, put some hearts in there. If you're a fan of The Lion King, put a thumbs up in there. If you're a fan of the Lion King, put Mufasa, put Simba, put whoever you want to put in there. But here's what I want you to get at. There's a part when Simba ran away from the Pride Land because Scar is uncle. And by the way, I can tell the story like it was yesterday because I've watched this movie so many times. One of my favorite movie of all time. And so when Simba ran away from the Pride Land because he thought he killed his dad, and Scar told him to just run away and never come back. That's another statement that many people have told us. Many people have told us that we're not good enough. Run away. Get out of here. Don't come back. Don't come back does not refer to just a location. Don't come back refers to your dream, your skills, your aspiration, and all the things that you want to become in life. But a lot of people run away from it because they believe the stories that other people told them. So when somebody said, run away and never come back, it's the same thing that happened to Simba when Scar told him to run away and never come back. And so he ran away and went out there into the woods. When he ran away from the Pride Land, he now take on a different identity. He took on this identity where it's like, laissez-faire, don't care about nothing. It means no worries for the rest of your life. Hakuna Matata. And a lot of us are living Hakuna Matata lives, don't care about anything. Everything is just gonna, fall into place. Everything is gonna be, que sera, whatever will be, will be. And we develop this mindset of not really caring. We develop this mindset of just drifting through life. We develop this mindset of, well, what will happen will happen. It's what it is. That's not a good mindset to have. Here is what I want you to understand. Same thing message coming from the Simba story was that when he went out there, years later, he's out there hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa, the warthog, and they're out there hanging out, and he learned something amazing. He learned how to just not care, but he become a different person. He took on a different identity. And here is where the danger is. Many years later, he started eating what they eat, started thinking how they think, started saying what they say. So when you take on a different identity, your language change, your diet change, everything about you is going to change. Your language, your diet, your behavior, your thoughts, your belief about you change. Some years later, Rafiki had this vision that the king is alive. And then he went into his little cave, and then he got some dust and he drew the mane on baby Simba, and then he looked at it and said, wow, the king is alive. The king is alive. Rafiki left and went into the woods to search for Simba because he believed that Simba was alive. When he got there, somehow saw this lion. He realized who it was. And then he said, who are you? Challenge him. I'm asking you right now, do you know who you are? And so when he said, do you know who you are? That's a question that we should always ask ourselves. Do I know who I am? We should ask that question before somebody asks us that question. Because by the time somebody else asks us, we've already practiced this. We have already known this. We become second knowledge that we already know who we are. Okay? So when he said, who are you? Right? Simba said, well, I don't know who I am. Rafiki said, no, you are Mufasa's boy. And a long story short, they went to the back and forth, they argued back and forth, and then Rafiki hit him on the head with a cane. And then after, ow, that hurts. He said, you feel that? Right. So he slapped him on the head and he took him down to the river, and he says, your father is inside of you. He said, what do you mean? Your father is inside of you. And he took him down to the river and he said, look, he's in there. He's in there. And the long story short is that a lot of time it will take somebody else to take us back mentally to where we need to be when we had our full identity to help us to remember who we are. So, confidence, number two, confidence comes when we know who is inside of us. Now, if you are a believer, then you would understand that the Bible tells us that greater is he that is inside of us than he that is in the world. So when I say that, I want you to understand now. Could you imagine if somebody said, "Oh, if you're a basketball player," and then somebody said, "Oh man, you remind me of Michael Jordan." Could you imagine if somebody said, "Oh, you play like Michael Jordan"? Somebody say, "You remind me of Kobe." Well, even though somebody will say that, greater is inside of you. Whatever somebody else can come up with, whatever description they can come up with, greater is inside of you. So confidence comes by knowing that greater is inside of you. All right? You can put that in the comments and greater is inside of me. It doesn't matter how many times you fail, greater is inside of you. It doesn't matter how many times you give up, greater is inside of you. It doesn't matter how, greater is inside of you. So I want you to understand that the identity that you develop over time is because of the lived experience that you have, the things that people have told you. But I want you to get this, that it doesn't matter. Confidence comes by knowing what's inside of you. Does that make sense? All right, let's move on to the next one. So the first one was love. The second one was confidence. The next one is awareness. What does awareness mean? Awareness is not just about yourself. Awareness is knowing who you are, knowing where you are, and knowing that the greater part that's inside of you, you have to become aware of it, aware of your skill set, aware of your tool set, aware of the mindset, aware of the thought processes that are happening inside of you. So awareness is just being aware of who you are. That's what we call self-awareness. There's a whole bunch of awareness that are out there. You can be aware of the environment, you could be aware of other people, you can be aware of other things. But a lot of people are aware of everything else and their environment, but they're not self aware. Self awareness is knowing how you think, how you feel, what makes you happy, your skill set, your strengths, your weaknesses. This is all a part of your identity. Once you know who you are, no other identity will do. Now, I mentioned that in my book, Work Your Words, Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success. If you have not picked up that book, go to andrewguyspeaks.com, my website, and then you can get a copy of that book and we can sign it and have that shipped out to you. All right? So when we talk about awareness, awareness is that identity that I know who I am. Somebody will call you a name that doesn't resonate with you. Somebody may hate on you. It doesn't matter. Self awareness is knowing who you are, regardless of what the weather is. Regardless if you're living in Canada, live in the United States, you're living in the Caribbean where it's sunny, whether it's snow, it doesn't matter what time of day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't matter. All those things will change. But having an awareness of who you are is key. All right? So let's go back over those three. Number one, love. Number two, confident. Number three, awareness. The next one is compassion. When I think of compassion, people would say it's empathy, it's caring, but I want you to think of compassion as in caring with a passion. Caring with a passion. Now, where do I get that from? There's a scripture that says that the Lord Jesus he cares about us because he's in touch with the feelings of our infirmities. It means, in a nutshell, that it doesn't matter what other people are going through. you can sympathize with them. You can stop and listen. You can stop and be a big ear for them. You can empathize with them. Empathize and sympathize is not the same thing. Sympathize, I put myself in their position, in their shoe. Empathize mean I can understand how that feel. I have never been there before. I've never walked in your shoe, but I can understand how that could be a difficult thing. That's empathy. It's understanding how a person may feel even if you've never been in their shoe. That's empathy. Sympathy is where I want to feel what you feel. I want to experience what you experience. So tell me what you're feeling and let me see if I can come up with, let me see if I can bond with you. We call that in mental health trauma bonding, where people try to become or behave in that manner where the other person is experiencing whatever they're feeling and they try to become it. So they can say, oh, I am one with you right now. Okay? Some people may get like tattoos or a brand on their hand because they want to sympathize. They want to experience what the next person is feeling. So when we talk about sympathy versus empathy, empathy I understand, but I've never been in your situation before. Sympathy, I want to understand. I want to experience what you're going through so I can either suffer with you or feel the pain that you're feeling and walk with you through it. So when we talk about these five components or these five tips, one is love, one is confident, one is awareness, and now we're on the fourth one called compassion. Compassion means caring with a passion, caring with zeal, caring because I care. I'm not just, oh well, meandering my way or just, just say, oh yeah, I care. No, no, no. You really care. You really care. So it's caring with a passion. That's what compassion is. I'm passionate about my caring for you. I'm passionate about how people see themselves. I'm passionate about people who have developed the wrong mindset for themselves. I'm passionate to help people to change the lens from how they see themselves so they can see themselves in a different way. I'm passionate about explaining and breaking things down so people can understand that if you're too close to the situation, then you will miss the big picture. I'm passionate about helping people to understand that you want to zoom out, get a bigger field of view so you can see that there are more things that are happening around you. I'm passionate about helping people to understand that if you're so close to the situation, you will only see yourself. And most people are self absorbed that they only see themselves and they don't see that other people could be going through the same thing that they're going through also. They fail to see that there are other people who may have had it worse than they're having it right now. So we talk about compassion when we talk about understanding identity and creating an identity that will outlast any failures that you will ever have. You need to have these five strategies down. I want you to have them. I want you to write them on your mirror and say them each day. I want you to write them down and make them part of your vocabulary. I want you to write them down and make them part of your daily saying that you say your words. And I want you to live them, make them practical. I know you're waiting for the last one. The last one is resilience. The last one is resilience. Now, let me run back through the other four for the people that are just joining us. If you're just joining us today, my name is Andrew E. Guy. I'm a high performance clinician and I help individuals to set boundaries so they don't become victim of their last win. Okay? More about me, go to andrewguyspeaks.com. If you need coaching, we have a coaching program that's coming up. If you need me to come out and speak to your audience, Andrew Guy Speaks at COP. But let's break this down. We talked about the 5 components that you will need to help to rebuild your identity that does not sabotage you, but help you to become almost unbreakable if you have these 5 things, these 5 components, these 5 mindset, these 5 tool sets, this way of living, this outlook on life, looking at your life from this lens. We said love, you want to love people. And in order for you to love people, you got to start with yourself, got to love yourself. Confidence. Confidence basically is proof about something that you've already done. Proof. I have proof. In the black community, they will say, man, I got receipts. If example, if you went to the store, I went to this place to do some shopping the other day. I went to Costco to do some shopping the other day. And so I have a receipt. A receipt is what I got because I purchased something or participate in the purchasing of a particular item. Confidence is the same way. Confidence comes when you have participated in something over a period of time, over and over and over and over and over again. A perfect example of this is David. When David was going to fight Goliath, Saul said, why don't you take my weapon? Why don't you take my sword and my shield? But what did David say? David says, nah, bro. Not gonna do that. That means he didn't have any confidence in the weaponry that Saul was giving him. He said, no, I've already used this sling and stone. I've been using this sling and stone for many years. I can use it with my eyes closed. I mean, I have confidence in this thing. So when you get a receipt, you get a receipt from the things and the activities and the lived experience that you've had. This helps to build confidence. Another thing that builds confidence is because you know what's inside of you, right? And that leads you to the next part. The next part is self-awareness. Self-awareness, I'm aware of who lives in me. The scripture tells us that greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world, right? So let's say, for example, and I gave the example of a race car, and the race car had this amazing engine in it, but you didn't know what was in it. And the spectators and the fans knew what was in it, and they were cheering. They said, take number one, take number one. But if you take number 5, and number 5 didn't have the super engine in it, but it turns out that number 1 had the super engine. If you had the knowledge that the fans had and the spectators had, you would have taken number 1. And if you take it number 1, you use number 1 because you're now thinking to yourself, wow, number 1 has the fast engine. It's the same engine that Mario Andretti used when he raced. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Formula One car. I'm going to use that. So confident is knowing or being aware of what's inside something. Okay? If you know that if you apply to Ivy League school, if you apply to Harvard, if you apply to Columbia, if you apply to one Oxford or any one of these Ivy League school, and you're confident that you're going to get in, you're going to apply, right? So the next thing is that knowing who is inside of you. Scripture says, greater is he that is inside of us than he that is in the world, all right? So we're saying love, confident, self-awareness. The next one I said was compassion. And compassion really is caring with a passion. Caring with a passion. Caring about other people. And then we talk about sympathy versus empathy. We said that empathy is understanding what the person could be going through. You have an idea of what the person could be going through, even though you haven't been in their shoe. Sympathy is a willingness to walk in that person's shoe. Sympathy is the ability to or willingness to bear what these people are experiencing. That's what sympathy. I sympathize with you. Does that make sense? So empathy, having the knowledge, right? And sympathy is a willingness to walk the same journey, standing the shoe that the other person stands in. All right? It's caring with a passion. And then the last one, we're about to wrap up right now, is resilience. Resilience, under resilience, you got faith, you got hope, you got adoption. When we talk about resilience, we're really talking about the idea of not bouncing back, but the ability to be strong over time, the ability to weather the storm. Most people say it's about bouncing back. It's not about bouncing back, it's the ability to adapt and withstand anything, challenges, failures, ups and downs, the bumps in the road, the hindrances, the setbacks, even the setups. That's what resiliency is. Re in front of a word means to do over. Re in front of a word means to do over. It's like realliance, resil, zeal. So when we talk about resilience, it's a repetition of consistently overcoming something, overcoming hardship. It's about redoing, resiliency, resealing yourself, reminding yourself, going through something over and over and over because it makes you stronger. So if you put those five things in a bottle and put them out on an island, personally, I believe those will be able to withstand the test of time. When you're thinking about your resiliency, when you're thinking about your mindset, when you're thinking about your self esteem, when you're thinking about your identity, keep these five tips in mind. Because if you have these, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you still win. It doesn't matter if you win, lose, or draw, you still win. It doesn't matter if you fail, you still succeed. You may fail at something, but you are not a failure. It could mean that you probably didn't have enough reps. It could mean the difference between using King Saul's sword and his shield versus David's sling and a stone. That's what it could mean. Because if you've used a sling and stone as many times as David, then you would be great at it. And you would rather use your sling and stone as opposed to using a shield and a sword. Okay? So when over time you build up confidence, over time resiliency will be built up, and that will help you to not give up. The purpose of resiliency is to help you to understand that there could be something better up ahead. And if I quit now, I will never know. Quitters never win. And those who quit, they never see the opportunity of all the opportunities that are in front of them. And I'll say it this way to make it easier for you. Winners, people who win, they never quit. They kept going. Quitters never win because they never end up passing the finish line. I'll say it again. Quitters never win because they never experience passing the finish line because they don't know what it's like. They don't have the resiliency to hang on when things go bad. And winners, they never quit because they just keep on being resilient. They keep on going on and on and on and on. So I want to encourage you today, whatever you're going through, you're going to fail at some things, but that doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried and you have failed. Well, do some research, get some coaching, get some help, because this will be the difference maker in the next time you try again. All right. You want to learn more about me? Go to andrewguyspeaks.com. We do have an amazing program called the Win Reset. It's coming. It's going to be launching very soon. Our wait list is going to be launching soon. And we're only taking 12. We're only taking 12 individual on this journey for this coaching. And I want you to help you to understand that, hey, we're going to be launching this waiting list in the next couple of weeks, probably next week and a half or two. And then you can go there, you can sign up just to get on the waiting list. And from the waiting list, then we have a selection criteria, and only those that are selected will be able to move on into the first cohort. So I'm looking forward to seeing and working with you. Hey, I hope this message helped you. I hope you can go back and watch this video and get some nuggets from it and apply it to your life. All right. Take care of yourself. Until next time, I'll see you again. Any questions you have, please feel free to leave them in the comment, and I'll respond to all the comments and to answer any question that you may have. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again.